class, it will start with fluids and its properties. Okay. Fluid and its properties. So we were discussing in yesterday's class also. So regarding solids, how it will be defined, and as well as for fluids. So solids and fluids, you'll have this. Imagine the same diagram. Okay. Here you will be applying some external force F, and this is your point A, and this is your point B. Okay. So for solids, just note it down. Okay. For solids, if we apply some external shear force here, they'll start deforming. Okay. So due to deformation, the internal resisting shear force will be in opposite direction. Okay. So after a point of time, that is when your resisting shear force becomes equal to the external shear force, then your deformation will stop. Okay, hence your solids will always undergo finite deformation. Okay, or finite shear strain, that is tau is directly proportional to d theta, and this d theta itself I already told you yesterday. This is that point A and B. It will deform in this way, again deformation, so this point is only d theta. Okay, so this is the finite deformation here. So what happens if we remove the external shear force? So depending upon the deformation, the solids may or may not regain its original shape. Okay, so this is all about your solids. Next one, for fluids, what will happen in fluids if we apply some external shear force? The same diagram. Okay, here's some right. Here you are applying some external shear force. This is point A, this is point B, and all these are water. Okay. So if you are applying some external shear force on the water body, the fluid will undergo continuous deformation. Okay. For fluids, you will have continuous deformation, whereas in solids, you will have finite deformation. Okay. For fluids, it is continuous deformation. For solid, it is finite deformation. Since fluid does not undergo this finite deformation, that is your finite shear strain, hence in case of fluids, your rate of deformation or the rate of shear strain will be taken into account here. Okay, see, this is point A and this is point B. It is deforming, again, it will deform, and it will deform again. So this is your d theta. Note this point very carefully. Fluid does not undergo finite deformation. Fluid always undergoes continuous deformation only. Okay, so in case of fluids, your rate of deformation or the rate of shear strain will be taken into account. Okay, that is your tau is directly proportional to d theta by dt. Okay, this is the equation. For solids, it is tau is directly proportional to d theta since it is finite deformation. Whereas in fluids, rate of deformation or the rate of shear strain will also be taken into account here, that is d theta by dt. Okay, so what happens if we remove this external shear load? Then your fluid will never regain its original shape here. Okay, whereas in solids it may or may not regain its original shape, whereas in fluids it will never regain its original shape. Okay, so this is all about the solids and fluids. So the conclusion is, a fluid is just a substance which is capable of deforming continuously under the action of even a smallest possible shear force.